All right, welcome back. Today, we're jumping right into the next big chapter of the Wille mythos, the Carnival of Skulls. So we're going to leave that cold, sterile, bureaucratic iron heaven from part one way behind. We're stepping onto a totally new philosophical battleground, the ancient ash-choked city of Naples. This city is the entire framework for this next wild stage of the story.
This whole explainer really boils down to one single critical question. The fight in Naples, it's not a war of force. It's not about firepower. It's a war against apathy. It's a struggle against an enemy who doesn't even want to beat you. They just want you to join them in the quiet, comfortable peace of doing nothing.
And this right here, this is the absolutely chilling philosophy of our antagonist, Sinos, who's evolved into this jackal cynic form. This quote just sets the stakes perfectly. See, losing this war doesn't mean you die, not in the usual sense. It means you agree with him. It means accepting that the only true peace, the only divine state, is oblivion.
So, to really get our heads around this battle, we have to see it as a kind of dialectic. Let's start with the thesis, the strange, contradictory state of Naples itself. This is a city literally torn between a frantic, manic celebration on one hand and this deep, frozen core on the other.
So, on the surface, they call Naples the street of the living dead. But it's this chaotic, super vibrant labyrinth of masks. The whole city is alive with this relentless, frantic carnival. I mean, everywhere you look, people are just constantly moving, celebrating, dancing right in the streets.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because you see the core contradiction right here. On the left, you've got the revelers, and they're all wearing skulls. This is their refusal of the iron heaven. It's a huge rejection of that rigid, boring order from part one. But then on the right, you see the city's hidden truth. Down in the cathedral, the famous sacred blood of St. Januarius. It isn't liquid, it's a dry, black clot. It's a perfect symbol of total metaphysical stagnation.
And that clotted blood, it's not just a symbol. It's the telemetric anchor for something they call the null protocol. And this is Sinos's endgame, a state of passive nihilism. It's this deep desire to just end all the struggle, all the suffering, by turning the entire world into this perfectly preserved, totally silent glass coffin. Okay, so if the city, alive on the outside but dead on the inside, is the thesis, then the antithesis is the active force trying to make that inner death spread. It's an enemy that doesn't attack your body, but attacks the very reason you have for living.
The big bad here, Atman Null, has seriously leveled up. It's not just the cynic's little spectral pet anymore. Oh no, it's become this pervasive environmental threat. And it doesn't eat flesh or drink blood. It consumes telos, which is the Greek word for your purpose, your ultimate goal. It literally feeds on your will to keep going.
And this is how it works. Atman Null shows up as this thick, gray mist, this field of mindless existence that just rolls in from everywhere. And as soon as it touches the carnival, it spreads the silence of the clot. People just stop dancing. They drop their masks, and they give in to this overwhelming relief that comes from just not caring anymore. It turns this vibrant festival into a completely silent tomb.
But you can't fight a void, right? You can't just punch a mist of apathy. So against this creeping nothingness, a whole new strategy has to emerge. The heroes can't just hold the line anymore. They have to evolve. And this brings us to the synthesis, the alliance of the yes.
And the biggest change here is with Wille himself. If you remember part one, his whole strategy was the Fichtean grip, basically just white-knuckling reality using sheer force of ego to keep everything from falling apart. It was a constant war against chaos. Well, that's over. Now, as the Red Architect, his philosophy has done a total 180. He's not holding reality still anymore. He's helping it melt. He's embracing the Dionysian chaos and fluidity. In short, he's learning how to dance.
And that dance has a name, the Dionysian affirmation. This is the key. It's this profound, radical acceptance that all the chaos, the suffering, the contradictions in life, those aren't things to be fixed or eliminated. They're actually sources of incredible power. This is the very heart of amor fati, the love of fate. It's about saying a powerful yes to all of life, not just the easy parts.
And he's not doing this alone. This new alliance is a team of three. You've got Wille as the Red Architect. He's joined by Pan, this primal, raw force that connects his powerful intellect to the pure vitality of the earth itself. And then you have Donar, the Heaven Stormer, positioned up at the crater of Mount Vesuvius, just waiting to be the spark, the thermal catalyst for the whole plan.
So how in the world does this all come together? How does a team made of a philosopher, a nature god, and a thunder god use a volcano to fight a metaphysical mist of apathy? Well, let's get to the climax. The eruption of the Will.
Okay, so here's the play. It's called the Da Capo event, and it goes down in 3 steps. First, the Red Architect gives the signal by drawing a line in the volcanic ash with his dialectic scythe. The second that happens, Donner acts as the catalyst, striking Vesuvius with Mjolnir, perfectly in sync with the city's own pulse, and that triggers the eruption, but it is not at all what you'd expect.
Because this eruption, it isn't geological, it's ideological. Vesuvius doesn't spit out lava, it unleashes violet gamma radiation, the pure, raw energy of the will to power itself. This isn't some external force being used against the city. This is the inherent will finally unlocked from within the world. It's like the heat of an idea made real and made into a weapon.
And the result is immediate and absolute. This immense heat, this pure will, just flows through Naples. It instantly melts the clotted blood of St. Januarius, breaking that anchor of stagnation for good. And the encroaching mist of apathy, it's just burned away completely. The Null Protocol is defeated.
So in the final moments, dear Wille is standing there right in the heart of the eruption, rejecting that safe, silent glass coffin that Sinos offered him. And he screams, once more, Da Capo. This is his ultimate embrace of Amor Fati. He's not just accepting the cycle of destruction and creation, he is demanding it. He chooses the fire of becoming over the silence of being. Which kind of leaves us with a question, doesn't it? When we face our own voids, our own apathy, could we do the same?